All right, for reaction to today's jobs report, let's bring in Steve Forbes, Forbes Media chairman. It strikes me that the experts are even less expert than usual. They were off by about 10 million. They were looking for minus 7.5 million. It came back at plus 2.5 million, roughly a little bit more than that. Within those numbers, small businesses, almost 80% have reopened. What do you think about that? The American spirit live and well.
It is indeed. This is the beginning of a great recovery. The president is right about that. And it turns out the pundits were wrong and the stock market was right. Days before this report came out, people are wondering, is the stock market bonkers? Is the computers going haywire? As the market went up, the market anticipated that the future is going to be better. And the jobs report is even more encouraging. You mentioned small businesses. If you look at what they call the household survey, which does a better job of measuring hiring by new businesses, small businesses, that was up 3.8 million jobs in May, contrasting to the 2.5 million in the other survey. So that was a very healthy report. And lower income people are getting rehired again. But what all this underscores is what the president emphasized today, and that is we've got to keep pouring more rocket fuel in, particularly a payroll tax holiday that reduces the cost of keeping people on the payroll, reduces the cost of hiring new people, and enables people who are working to get a substantial pay increase. If you're making $40,000 a year on an annual basis, suspending that tax is equivalent of a $3,000 after-tax increase in income. So he's right to push that, and he should push the Democrats in Congress to have a vote on it. Let Nancy Pelosi and others say, no, you can't keep more of what you earn. Employers, you have to pay more for hiring people. I don't think it's going to be a winning political issue for the Dems.
So, Steve, you're so smart to point to where the next fight is going to be. You know, the president said now that so much of the economy is recovered, we have to focus our effort on the areas where there's still so much trouble, whether that's specific cities or specific groups. A lot of people pointing out today that the black unemployment rate is still incredibly high, that was one of the low points within this survey. And in fact, it's back to where it was 10 years ago, back to where it was during the Obama administration. I mean, black unemployment back to that level. What is a way to target this part of the economy? You talked about the payroll tax cut. I can already hear people fighting for longer unemployment benefits. Is that the answer?
No, that's actually counterproductive in the sense of giving people really increasing the costs of increasing the benefits of not working. What you want to do by that payroll tax, you give people more money. And I would support, against my conservative colleagues, one more time of a individual stimulus sending out of checks. $1,200, $1,500 coming in September to give the economy a boost. Let's remember, before the COVID crisis hit, unemployment among the Hispanic community, the black community, the Asian community were at record lows in this country. And there's no reason to believe that if we get this thing really going, like doing the suspension of the payroll tax, we can achieve those great numbers in the months ahead, those kind of achievements. So the key thing is to create the right environment, and by golly, this thing will correct itself. So do the one-time more payment for individuals, do that payroll tax suspension, and if they want to throw in immunity on crazy lawsuits, that would even be better. But you do those kind of things, you create the right environment for private sector job creation. That's where the dynamism and the real resource creation comes in this economy. It's going to surprise a lot of people. The American political spirit, economic spirit is still as strong as ever, and this is proof of it.
If you look inside the numbers, hospitality, 1.2 million, construction, almost 500,000 jobs created here in New York. They're going to reopen construction sites starting on Monday. Retail, trade, manufacturing. He's also going to do something for restaurants, extend that PPP time when you can get it forgiven as not as a loan, but as a grant if your employees stay, because now things are starting to reopen. God bless. Steve Forbes, thank you for coming on. The American Spirit, live and well. We appreciate it.